I think just based on what we were seeing, it just felt like it was getting squeezed.
Yeah.
Like, and this was the casual dining crunch was going on, and like, those lots of big restaurant chains were either going completely bust, if you remember, or were massively cutting sites because it was getting harder and harder. Rent was going up, rates were going up, the amount you paid staff was going up. The input costs of everything was going up. Not like it is now, but it was still, it was going up. And you felt like every time you did a new one of these stores, you'd go and spend £1.5 million fitting it out. It was a relatively big bet. It needed to take 50 grand a week or whatever it needs to take for it to really make sense. And how many times can you do that before you get one really wrong? And we did get one really wrong, actually. And it's like, but at the same time, we've got this brand and people love this brand. Like, I would meet people and they would say to me, I love Grind, like I love the brand. I love this person in this store. And I knew, obviously, people are always nice when they find out it's yours, but I felt like I really believed, and I still do believe, that people actually love the brand and what we stand for. And so there has to be another way to leverage this without just constantly adding more and more stores and all the risk and difficulties that entails. So it was quite a strategic move, I think, to go into developing coffee products to sell at home.
Yeah.
And I think I had this other thing, which was I didn't make coffee at home.
Right.
Which was really weird for someone who owned a coffee business and a coffee roastery, because I honestly just couldn't be bothered with all the faff and the mess. And like occasionally I would do it, and I had various like home espresso machines and this, but it just kind of end up with coffee everywhere, coffee beans on the floor. Like, I was like, I can't bother with this. And, but I think always thought that, Nespresso was such an amazing system in terms of the energy in to output out. Put it in, press a button. It's pretty much like ordering it on your phone and it appearing in the kitchen.
As good as.
Which is what we want as, as modern day customers. But the problem was that, first of all, the coffee didn't taste very good, in my opinion. And secondly, this environmental thing was just, terrible. And you're getting this thing and you're putting it in the bin. It's like, this is rubbish. But then we discovered we could do compostable pods. And after that discovery, it was like, right, okay, I think this really makes sense.